This episode is brought to you by Bullshit, proudly sponsoring the American experience since forever. Are you tired of affordable housing? Exhausted from not having to work three jobs just to pay for therapy you can't afford? Sick of feeling safe in public spaces? Well, don't worry. Bullshit has you covered. Bullshit, now available in schools, courts, Congress, your uterus, and anywhere else logic once lived. Call now and receive a free month of Thoughts and Prayers Plus, our premium package. It doesn't do anything, but it feels like action. Bullshit. Keeping the chaos consistent. That'll probably be the last ad that I do that I don't get paid for. Sorry, couldn't help myself. Um, so who's autistic this week? Nobody asked. Well, I'll tell you. Did anybody see that John Candy documentary that got released? I hope I didn't talk about that last episode. If I did, my brain forgot that part. But I think it was over the weekend I watched the documentary. Um, but anyways, I didn't know a whole lot about John Candy. Like I've heard of him over the years, and I remember him in Home Alone when he was part of that polka dot group or whatever. But damn, did that dude like I felt so sad. Like people making fun of his weight and not just focusing on like his acting and his talent and stuff. Like that dude was definitely autistic. I mean, the bullying, it's just he screams autism. And like there's this one part in the documentary where like some lady, I think it was from the 90s maybe, early 2000s, and she was like making a comment about his weight like in an interview to his face, and you could just see the tears in his eyes, but like he just answered the question. Oh my god, I felt so sad watching that documentary, but John Candy deserves to be remembered, and I would recommend watching that. But anyways, I have been nerding out on the Midas Touch Network on YouTube this week, and not just this week, but last week and the week before it. I can't help myself. Um, I love that channel so much. I particularly love Ben Mycelis. He's my favorite. And then the guy from Legal AF is my second. And then, well, I could go down the list, but anyways, I don't watch all of the videos that they post because there's some people that, no offense to them, they're just a bit boring, and I don't really care to watch those episodes. But um, so yeah, my routine has now included the Midas Touch Network. So if you haven't watched that yet, or if you haven't heard about it, you might like it. It's over on YouTube. Um, so we had our niece Bella over this weekend. And oh, Bella knows I talk about her on here, just so you know. Um, so get this shit. Um, so Bella's 16. I entered her life when she was 3 years old, two or three. And um it didn't dawn on me that she's only ever known me and Alicia. Like, I keep thinking I'm this fucking outsider that the family's like, who is this person? Because nobody talks about relationships in a healthy way or anything like that. But anyways, so Bella, we were talking, and she randomly mentioned that she figured out herself that Alicia and I were married. Now, I thought Alicia, well, she did tell me. I thought that her mom, um, Shell, who doesn't know I'm talking about her, and I don't know if I'm supposed to, but I need an outlet, so here it is. But anyways, we thought Shell had that conversation with the kids, her and Madeline, like that we're married, and because like for years, I think I've talked before about how I felt like an outsider going down and like hanging around for Christmas and people giving me presents, but they never acknowledged that me and Alicia were in a relationship, and they sure didn't acknowledge when we got married. It was just fucking weird. Like her family is super conservative. Um And so I don't know. I guess people didn't really think much of it the longer I was around. And I was saying something. I was talking to her about relationships I don't remember what I was saying. But that's when she shared that she figured out that we were married. She couldn't recall like what the detail was. And it wasn't that long ago that I made like me and Alicia went down there to visit. She said it was like during one of those visits when she was just like, "Oh, they're married." And Alicia and I don't wear wedding rings, like we have them, but we don't really care to wear them. And she never said anything to us about it. And so like this entire time, like, because Alicia was talking to Shell on the phone at some point and walked away with the impression that Shell had talked to her kids about like me and Alicia, like not really being roommates. We're married. We thought that conversation happened, but turns out it didn't. So Bella told Madeline, "Hey, they're married." And this is how I figured it out. And then Madeline, who's 13, she went to Shell, her mom, and was like, "Oh my gosh, like they're married." As if like Shell didn't know. And I was shocked. I was like, "Bella, are you serious? Nobody had a conversation with you?" And she said, "No." I mean, this is a weird thing to even say out loud. Like, I'm tired of like people not liking LGBTQ plus peoples. And I'm just tired of it. I'm tired of like, I was tired of going down there for the fucking Christmases. We don't do those anymore, by the way, because their family has fractured a little bit more. Um, and everybody is just like living around each other, but like not really talking to each other. It's a very weird situation. But I don't remember where I was going with the Christmases, but whatever. I just thought that was weird. And so I'm noticing that with every visit, she feels more comfortable and she's sharing more. So, like, we stay up. Like, Alicia goes to bed at like 9, 10 o'clock because she's old. And Bella and I stay up for hours till like midnight, 1 o'clock, just like talking. She's more curious about the world. She actually knows what's going on in this country. America. Ugh. But she knows what's going on in this country, which is so surprising because like they're very isolated where they are. They don't go a lot of places. Their mom monitors like what they watch, but Bella figures out how to learn about the world and hides it pretty well. So, we talked about some of that. And then we talked about like music, which was lovely. And then we talked about um the gender of cats. And so she's like obsessed with cats. And she was telling me a story about like how she can tell the gender of a cat and how she's always right. And how her grandma still will pay the vet just to tell them the gender when Bella always gets it right. So anyways, I thought it was fun to mention that like I've never been able to tell what the gender of a cat is just by looking at like the holes or looking for some hole. I don't know. Like I don't know how to tell. I've tried looking before, and then I felt weird trying to like examine the genitals of kittens. So I was like, well, I'm not going to be able to tell this way. So somehow I was able to, and this was like in the military, like my early 20s, I was able to figure out how to tell the gender of a cat just by looking at the cat, like the face. And I never had the words for it. Like, why do I know the gender of these cats just by looking at them? How come other people don't really know this? And so, like, Bella was the first one that um, has told me that she can tell just by looking as well. Like, not down there, but up at the face. Um, and she was talking about how she pays attention to like the bone structure and like the different build and like she put to words what I was never able to put to words. It was just this thing that I knew I could do. So that was super interesting and I definitely learned a lot. You can learn from anybody at any age. Um, just in case anybody didn't know that. And so, anyways, like, and we did our normal chats about, like, her home life and stuff that she struggles with. And She doesn't feel seen and blah blah blah. It was like a lot of our childhoods, autistic people. And I tried to like it's so difficult sometimes because I know I can't say what I want to say all the time. Like um because I'm talking to like a teenager. So like I can't I'm not it's weird. Like I'm not I don't bash on her mom when I'm talking to her. Even though I want to say fuck your mother, like get her the fuck like fucking kick her out of the house and whatever. Her mom, I don't like her mom. And I know it's because she triggers me because she's just like my mother was when I was Bella's age. And so I'm still trying to figure out like what to do about that. But anyways, what was I saying? Oh, so she talks about like just stuff that she doesn't get to talk about because it's just her mom, and Madeline and her mom don't have deep conversations about things. And it's always loud and chaotic over there, according to her. So she never really gets a whole lot of silence. And so, like, we're noticing that, like, she's enjoying visiting us, which, I mean, I guess she has been this whole time, but I always am doubtful. Like, maybe they think it's boring over here because we don't do anything. But apparently, that's exactly what they like because too much goes on at home. And so, I don't know. Like, I just have good conversations with her. And I've always wanted somebody, I think I've probably said this like many times before, but like I still feel it. I still feel so grateful that there's somebody in person that I can talk to and have these wonderful conversations with because I don't like most people, but I do like autistic people. And I love my wife, but my wife doesn't sit there and have hours long conversations with me because our brains are different and she doesn't think about very much of the stuff that I do. Um, like just like weird shit and like wondering like how do animals communicate if they don't talk to each other and like all kinds of different things. So, yeah, I don't get to talk to her about that stuff. And, talking online because I can really only do typing. That gets like kind of that's just time consuming too to just like chat back and forth all the time. So, I can't believe that like we have so much in common. Anyways, so she gets home and the next day, apparently like she has like a bit of a breakdown and starts crying and says I don't like it here, like I want to leave. And it's just kind of a mess and it caught her mom off guard and so her mom texted Alicia and was like this was yesterday and her mom was like, "How was Bella with you guys this weekend?" And, like, it's a text that's not like a curious, like, hey, how were things? Because she knows how things go when she's here. But, like, that text indicated that something had happened. So Alicia called Shell. She always puts her on speaker, and Shell knows this because, like, I used to participate in the conversations a lot until I realized that Shell reminds me of my mom. And so they started talking, and I just sat to, like, listen for a little bit. And then it just her mom's just started being like really dismissive and I got so fucking irritated and got up and just left and went to my room because I didn't want to hear the rest of that conversation because I know for a fact my mouth would have said things that I probably would have regretted. So what a weird situation this feels like I don't know. uh, I guess I'll just keep journaling about it. I don't know, maybe something will make sense, but it's a very strange situation that her mother triggers me because she's just like my mom. And like I have worked through a lot of that trauma from growing up. But does it ever really fully go away? I don't know. Like maybe like I think the goal is yes, but um there's so much more I want to say, but like I can't because this is a public thing episodes of my brain. Sorry, it glitched. Um Like, I'm not on here trying to bash anybody. I'm just on here to say, like, I am so grateful for my relationship with my niece. Both of them. I just have more in common with Bella, and we chat for hours. Like, I'm so grateful for that, and I never thought in my life I would look forward to another human being's presence other than my wife. I never thought so. I was like, how am I ever going to get used to these visits? I guess I'm used to them now with her. Um, and she's like, can I stay like 3 days? And we have to plan for that because of our schedule. But she wants to do more than just the weekend, and I don't blame her. Um, but I don't know that's. I just wanted to get that out of my mind. Um, I don't know. Anyways, I'm just gonna move on. Um, is anybody going to a No Kings protest this weekend by chance? Um, we did not go to the first one. We're not really protesters. I mean, we went to Black Lives Matter. We did a couple of those. But we're not ones that do it regularly like some people do. And so like I've been paying attention, and they're talking about like this one being possibly the largest protest we've had in history in this country. And there are a hell of a lot more things going on now than there were months ago when the first one happened. So me and Alicia are going. We signed up for the one. That's only 10 minutes. Oh, I hear my dry mouth. Hold on. Sorry about the clickety clack. It's probably because I'm getting anxious talking about Bella's mother. But anyways, so we're gonna go to one near us this weekend. And I'm not a chanter. I don't chant, but Alicia does. So she can do that for both of us while we hold our signs up. And like, I can't wait to make our signs because I think we have time tomorrow afternoon to do it, I think, or Friday. Because I am going to put some shit on my sign, and I'm not going to be nice about it. And I think it's worth dealing with the sensory nightmare that protesting with so many other people is going to probably feel like. But it's also like, I really believe in this, and I believe we need to stand up for the shit in this country. And so I guess we're gonna go. Um, I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little bit nervous because I'm waiting for them to declare martial law before Saturday so that they can use that as an excuse to hurt protesters. And like there's just a bunch of cruel shit going on. And it's hard to listen to and to watch, and it's hard to just like live your life knowing that this is happening like in your backyard, basically. You know what I mean? Like, it's just weird that this is life right now. And so I'm nervous about like what's going to happen when we're there. So I just hope it goes well. We're definitely going to tell people where we are in case we get snatched or something, because I can't let the cats die. The cats have to live, so somebody needs to come feed them. That's my main concern. Don't let the cats die. But so if you're gonna do any protesting, I really encourage you to like let somebody know, let more than one person know if possible, like where you are. And like, I don't know, check in with them at a certain time later that day. And if they don't hear from you, you know what I mean? Like, it's good to just have people know, like, this is where I'm at, and if you don't hear from me, something might have happened. Um because we need each other right now, and we need to fight this fucking evil. And I've been feeling pretty helpless lately about everything because I'm just in my room all the time doing work and like watching the news. And I'm like, I feel like there's got to be something more I can be doing. And at the very least, I'm going to go out there and do the protest because it's the right thing to do. And if you're not able to go or you don't want to go, there's nothing wrong with that at all. Um, at all. So don't judge yourself or anything like that. Um, I guess where am I at? What time? Oh, look, it's at the 20-minute mark almost. So I guess I better end this. Sorry if this wasn't a very entertaining episode. I'm hoping that there's stuff in here that's relatable. Especially like, does anybody have a situation similar to like what's going on with my relationship with my niece? And then like, is there anybody out there that can relate to this? Because I don't know what to do. Like, I probably should go back to therapy. Did I tell you guys that I ditched therapy? Yeah, about a year ago, I ghosted my therapist. I don't know if I told you that. Well, I did. Um, I just stopped going. Like, I remember that, like, I canceled, like, our last appointment. And then this was, like, last October, November. I canceled it. I don't remember why. Um, and I haven't been back since. And part of it, actually, most of it is because my therapist, she's helped me over the years like so much, but she's just not neurodivergent, and I need a therapist that is neurodivergent because the sessions I still was explaining things about autism, and I still felt like I was explaining myself like more than I cared to, and I just want to meet with somebody who gets it. I know I shouldn't have ghosted my therapist, but it is what it is. And we're very good at just kind of disappearing from relationships. So I don't honestly, if I'm honest, I don't feel bad that I did that. I'll always be grateful for her, but like I don't feel bad that I ghosted her. Uh, Even though like I've told people just have that conversation. I like, oh my God, when I was a counselor, I would like encourage clients all the time because lots of them wanted to like leave their therapists. And a lot of the therapists were just fucking dumb. But there were some good ones. And with the good ones, I would encourage the clients to have that last session, like process through everything. Like shit. My wife has like, she had two therapists at one point, and a year ago, she ended therapy with one of them because she was getting more out of the other, and she had that final session with the other therapist. But I don't feel the need to do that. So that happened. So yeah, I should probably think about therapy at some point. Maybe that'll help. I have to do a search to see if there's any new therapists in the area that are saying that they're neurodivergent. But anyways, thank you for listening. Thank you for your messages. Thank you for, like I said, like listening to my nonsense, like reading my shit, if any of you read my shit. Um, I so appreciate it. So I'm just gonna go now. I have work I have to get back to doing. And I hope if anybody goes out protesting this weekend, you stay safe, you go with somebody. Um, not don't go by yourself if you can help it. And I guess that's all I have to say. Okay, thanks. Bye.